Guys, welcome back to Precision Rifle Network. I have a problem. I understand there's many, but let's focus in here on these for today. I've got a problem between my muzzle brake up there, which is an MDT comp brake, or a KGM short can. I want to figure out which of those is better, feels better, produces better, tighter groups, let's say, on this particular rifle. And I also want to figure out which ammo I'm going to run through this rifle. So I've got the Norma Golden Target. This is a 130 grain 6.5 Creed. And I've got the Federal Gold Medal Match 130 grain 6.5 Creed. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get into it. All right, folks, as always, starting this out, shouting out Arkin Optics, who is our title sponsor. Definitely appreciate their friendship over there. They make some great scopes if you're in that budget category. So let's say, you know, $700 or less, you're gonna find solid optical choices from those guys. The EP5 is excellent. I've been running it for several years on my 22 long rifle competition gun. I've got no complaints, guys. You're talking about a $500 optic that punches way above its weight class. I like to say you're getting basically the features, the glass, everything of a $1,000 optic for like half the price, and that's really what I believe. So check out Arkin Optics. To start off the video, I'm just going to get on paper down here at 100 yards with the rifle set up the way that it has been. And just to touch quickly on the rifle, we've got a Manners stock here. I can't remember exactly which one it is at the moment, so I'm going to throw that up on the screen for you. We've got a Terminus Zeus Action. This is a proof barrel, chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, of course. We've got the Vortex Razor HD LHT up on top, MDT comp brake, and this has been my NRL Hunter rifle. And that makes it sound like I've done a ton of those. I've actually only done part of one match so far. The next one that's coming up for me is actually in about a week and a half down in Louisiana. And I want to make sure that I've got my best foot forward this time, because my intention is to stay for the entire match this time. That would be great. So I just want to figure out, like, the brake is fine, but the more that I shoot, the older I get, whatever, a brake just pounds my head. And I don't know if anybody else is like this, but man, after like just a few hours, I've got a headache, just kind of brain fog starts to set in. And it's just, you know, years and years of that concussion, right? Just banging against your head. And so if I could do away with the brake and still get similar accuracy and keep the rifle roughly the same weight, I would like to do that. I'm also going to put up on the screen for you the difference in weight between the KGM titanium can and the muzzle brake from MDT. My guess is it's not all that much, but you know, I'm already in the heavy category, so it really doesn't matter to me what the end weight is. It's really about the result. So I'm testing the difference between those with both ammos at 100 yards and eventually 250 yards here today to kind of true things up. And then I'm also just kind of testing the ammo, right? I want to see which one of these performs better through this rifle. I expect them both to be sub MOA, but if one of them is tighter than the other, then I'm going to run with that. Again, I'm in the open heavy category, and I like to run boxed ammo so that I don't have to worry about the whole power factor thing. So that's where I'm at with it, and let's get started. All right, you'll see the GoPro footage down there. I'm going to start at that top left circle. Well, that's going to be hard to argue with. We'll do another one just to the right of that one. Yeah. Gosh dang, that's shooting pretty tight. I hardly want to mess with that. We've also had the Garmin chronograph data over here. So let's see what that is for 6 shots. All right, on this guy, we're looking at standard deviation of 9.3 with an extreme spread of 31. I'm guessing the shot that brought that up to 31 on the extreme spread is probably that high one out of the first string. You just never know, right? It's boxed ammo, you take what you can get. So now I'm going to switch to the Norma Golden Target. We're going to shoot the next two targets and see what those look like and what the numbers are. We get a new profile going here. I've never been a Norma guy, and I have a confession to make. That on these little black carriers, if you've ever seen these things, like they're kind of locked in by this little tab thing up here. When I first got these, I'm like, why the heck can't I get these out? I realized that you just have to push the bullet from this location right here, and they come right out. It stumped me for a while, I'm not gonna lie. Ridiculous, I know. All right, I'm going for the next two dots, just to the right of those ones. Well, that's pretty good too. One more. All right, I'm gonna go down, check those, mark those shots. I'll put the measurements up on the screen for you guys. I'm going to thread on the KGM, disturbing the beauty of whatever is happening right there. I probably shouldn't touch it, to be honest, but I'm gonna do it just for the sake of this, and then we'll repeat the test. All right, guys, here's the groups. They're all sub MOA. Of course, I'll put the measurements up on the screen, but actually it's looking like the Federal Gold Medal groups here might be slightly better than the Golden Target, or they might all be just basically equal, and it comes down to shooter error. Anyway, let's run back, suppressor, and repeat the test with the two different types of ammo. Well, I realized as I was walking down there to check groups that I threw in the video earlier, like, sorry about 3-round groups, guys, because I've only got so many rounds and I don't want to do 5-shot groups. And then I proceed to do 2 different 3-shot groups, which, if my math is correct, totals 6 rounds instead of 5. It's hard being me, guys. You should feel sorry for me. Go sign up at Patreon to help me out, because apparently I need it. Anyway, here we go with the Federal Gold Medal match and the KGM can. I'm going to come down probably 2 rows on the target. You should still see it on the footage down there. And let's go again. No, I gotta come in even with the mirage. I can't see the target. All right. That group ended up a little bit tighter yet. That's pretty good. Accuracy is definitely not going to degrade, I can tell. I'm going to make sure this can is nice and tight. I'm going to switch to the Norma and we'll keep going. Okay guys, 2 targets to the right of the ones that I just shot. Here we go. Got some pretty serious mirage there. A little bit of heavy bolt lift on those guys. Just ever so slightly. Okay. Run downrange and see the groups there. Huh. At least on the Norma Golden Target, I forgot to run the Garmin with the Federal Gold Medal match. I'll have to do it later, but the extreme spread with the can on jumped to 17.4 feet per second with an extreme spread of 49.1. And the group, both the groups down there on the Norma Golden Target got larger. So this is why you test, right? Okay, you guys, so now we've got the can line. This was with the KGM K-can attached. We've got the Federal Gold Medal match. That is roughly similar to that. So brake versus can, and then we've got brake versus can. That I like. Not sure that's always repeatable. I mean, it did it once. This is pretty tight. That's pretty tight. It's probably what the rifle's capable of, right? And any growing groups is probably me, except that when you come over here and you go, well, up here the prime was maybe slightly bigger groups. Down here with the can, these groups definitely grew, you know, to 1 MOA. This is bigger than 1 MOA. This is probably 1 MOA. And I was getting some heavy bolt lift. It's not prime, sorry, the Norma Golden Target. Yeah, so not sure what to make of that. I want to run the can, so probably I am going to do some more testing with the Federal Gold Medal match and the can. I'm going to get a 0 proper because I was holding here and we're dropping on all these, but I'm going to get a proper 0 and then we're going to true it just in my ballistic solver out to 250, and we'll see what we see. All right, guys, so I wanted to do this again just because I forgot to do it before. This is the Federal Gold Medal match with the can on and the chronograph numbers. So the group down there stayed nice and tight where I wanted it, and the standard deviation is 7.4. That actually got a little bit better from before, you know, with the brake versus the can. And the extreme spread is 17.6. That also improved the can versus the brake. So I think, yeah, I'm still going to true this up and I'll let you know final thoughts, but I think I might be switching to the can from the brake, running the Federal Gold Medal match through this rifle for my NRL Hunter setup. All right, guys, we've got a target set up down there at 250 yards. We've got our data for the rifle inputted in here, and the Kestrel is calling for 0.74 at 250 yards. So I'm going to dial on 0.7, 5, 6, 7. And we've got a tiny bit of wind. I'm not really concerned about the wind because it's not heavy enough to start affecting my elevation down there, at least at 250. So right now we're going to go ahead and just take these shots and we're going to see how far off of our aiming point we are, and then we're going to true up the BC as best we can at 250, and we'll be able to run with this just the way it is. If you're wondering, the wind is probably a consistent 3 mile an hour from the front. It's like hardly anything. So here we go. All right. Yeah, that's a good looking group down there. I've got my 0 is always set. For me, guys, I set my 0 about 1/10 to the left of center to counteract right twist. It's just something I do. It's not all that uncommon. I'm just telling you about it since that group ended up being slightly left. It's not due to wind. I'm almost positive. We are slightly low of what our drop data is calling for. So I'm going to measure it real quick as best I can through the reticle. Boy, that's close. Gosh dang, that's really close. If I were to round this up to the Kestrel right now says 0.74, so I rounded down to 0.7. If I true that BC just slightly to make that say 0.75 or 6, then I would normally round up to 0.8, and then 0.8 would make us right on down there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go in to gun here, and we need, so that means the BC at that distance is slightly less good. That's what they said it was. They said it was a 0.287 to start with. So what I'm going to do is just go down to, let's say, 0.280. That didn't change it enough. 0.275. Yeah, we're there. Okay, so now it's going for 0.275. I would round up to 0.8, and that's going to make us trued up out there. So now, at least to those distances, we've got a trued up curve. Now, obviously, if we're taking shots out to 700, 1,000 yards, I really need to true up my BC at those farther distances. I mean, it really needs to be done in the transonic zone. But most of us don't have access to 1,200 yard, 1,500 yard, 1 mile long ranges to really true up curves. So we do the best we can, right? So coming up to 0.8, let's find a tiny plate. Anything smaller than that guy? No, that's going to be one of the smallest plates. Okay, so here we go. Good impact, centered up. Should be one more shot in here. I'll wait for that plate to stop swinging. Good impact. All right, I think we're good. Let's go down and take a look at that 250 yard paper, bring that stuff back, and then we'll close this out. Wow, that's a pretty tight group for 250 yards, you guys. There's 3 shots right there. You might be tempted to think that's one, but you can see how the paper is coming out. That means that was spall off of that little plate right there, that one that I hit, coming this way off the target and punching through there. It's not even like a full size hole. So anyway, just wanted to point that out. But that's the group at 250 yards. That's going to be great. It was a little bit low, so I came up, and we're going to be right in here somewhere for our group, which is what I want it to be. So happy with that. All right, guys, do me a favor and leave me a comment down below with what you like. Do you like a brake, or do you like a suppressor, and why? You know, it changes the recoil impulse a little bit with a can or suppressor, silencer, whatever you choose to call it. It tends to change it into more of a push straight to the rear. A short K can is not quite as bad as some longer cans, but then you've also got a brake, which tends to mitigate the recoil a little bit better, changes it into more of just a pop against your shoulder. You know, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. But for me, for this rifle, the setup that I've got it in right now, I'm going to go with the KGM R30K. Again, the rifle is 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm going to choose the Federal Gold Medal Match boxed ammo. This is 130 grain, and I'll put it up on the screen. But that 250 yard group is tiny. Yes, it's only a 3-shot group, whatever you want to say, but that's basically a 1-inch group out there at 250 yards, and I'm not complaining. It might even be less than that. I could almost cover it with my finger, so it might be less than that. But I'm pleased with it. The numbers are lining up well in the Kestrel. Everything is trued up and ready to go for my NRL Hunter match. So good day. Range day is always a good day, right? Guys, hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. The subscribe button, please, helps a lot. Trying to push for 100,000, you know, that's kind of the thing you do on YouTube. And stay tuned for more great videos from Precision Rifle Network.